Okay, so we are on my phone and not my Canon M50 Mark II today because we are at a bar and I have one mic because my other mic died. Very professional. Okay, so this is my guest today. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, my name is Vicente Rondon. I'm a documentary surrealist photographer, and art and photo instructor for different nonprofits in the area.
And very talented, might I say. So we met like 2 years ago. I don't know.
Yes.
Delaware Camera, shout out. What's up? Little plug. I have since then, since meeting you, have gotten way better.
I believe it.
That's kind of what happens, right?
I would hope so.
You progress. What if I was just a terrible photographer still?
I have a lot of opinions about that, man. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about them in public?
Yes, I don't mind at all.
Okay.
I would hope that since the last time I saw you that you have... No, it's okay. I would hope that the last time that I did see you, you have gotten better. And that's not to say that I look at everybody as needing to progress in such an extreme way. Yeah. Since I've last seen them, but it's more so if you state that you have a passion about something and you want to continue with something like photo, like making artwork, then you should be working at it. That's how that goes. You find the time to work at it. Even if you don't have very much time, you find little ways to contribute whatever you can towards that passion and see where it takes you, but you should be getting better, or at least trying something different.
Yeah, I agree. And I also am the type of person who just wants to learn everything, so it never stops. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. How did you get into photography?
Okay, that's a really good question. So when I was 12 years old, my brothers both had a medium, like an art form. Okay. My oldest brother, who is 15 years older than me, almost 16 years older than me, was a Latin jazz percussionist.
Oh, shit.
He still is to this day. He's a professional Latin jazz percussionist. He plays the congas, so he's like a huge conguero.
Yeah.
You could find him at Pausa Art House here in Buffalo. He leads this event called Tali's Corner. His name is Tali, and he is the conguero for those nights. But yeah, he was a Latin jazz percussionist, and he was also in the communications program at ECC.
Oh, okay.
When I was a kid. Again, I didn't really have anything. I didn't have a thing. And he had communications and percussion. While he was taking a communications course, he also had to... while he was in the communications major, he also had to take a photo course. I'm sorry. Sorry. He also had to take a photo class during that time. So he had a camera.
Yeah.
And he noticed that I didn't have a thing, so he gave me his camera, and I would just play around with it a lot of the time. My middle brother, who's almost 13 years older than I am, he's an illustrator and a designer.
Oh, shit.
And he also noticed that I didn't have a thing, so he got together with my oldest brother, and they kind of pushed me along to start using his camera when I was around 11 years old. And at 12, my middle brother ended up buying me a camera from one of his professors at UB, and I just used it when it came to shooting pictures of my friends, any strangers that were in my neighborhood, and I loved talking to people, so I would just make pictures.
So were your parents into the arts, or your brothers were just like, you know what, we're doing this, so now you need to too? What did your parents do?
So my father was a youth division correctional officer.
Oh.
And from what I understand, he didn't really like his job very much because of how he saw kids. Yeah. He liked to... I think that he liked to look at himself as more of a counselor than a correctional officer. But my father was a bit of a poet. He liked to write little things when he was younger. I don't really know too much about that except from what he's told me.
Yeah.
And I think that sort of stuck with my family. That's part of the art making or being passionate about something that is emotional and expressive. My mother isn't really an artist, but she is very much community driven. So community outreach specialist as well as an academic advisor for UB at the EOP program for about 40 years.
Oh, wow.
And in that, I get a lot of my extroversion. I love being social and I love talking to people, and I think that comes from my mother. Me being able to charm people comes from my dad, but my mother is she loves people and she loves being around individuals that she doesn't know. She loves trying new things, so that really helped in photo.
Are you a Libra?
Yes. Very much so.
I called it.
Yes.
We're both Libras.
What's your birthday?
September 30th.
Okay, October 5th.
Oh, yes. I'm so close to October that I'm pretty sure I'm an October Libra. You know.
Is there like a huge difference? Like what happens?
So allegedly there is. Like I mean, I don't know if I believe all of the internet mumbo jumbo there, but they say that October Libras and September Libras are different. Anyway, enough about that.
Okay.
That's funny that I fucking clocked you, though.
Clocked that. Yeah, that was really good. Okay,
It's the charming thing.
I'm trying to understand what it means more and more because every new friend that I make that wants to ask about that, they're always like, "Are you Libra?" And it's like, yeah, I don't. What does it mean? I know that I'm very much about balance. Like me as a person, I am very much about balance and justice.
Yeah.
Very much justice-oriented person. But every single time I get clocked for exactly that, it's like, all right, okay. It's either that or Aries that someone brings up.
Ooh, no, I don't see Aries. I don't see.
I learned that it's Libra, Sagittarius, Aries. That's like
those
what
are
I get.
big three?
Yeah.
My big three are Libra, Gemini, and Virgo. And like 2 air signs as your. Sorry, everybody who understands. Sorry. It's not great.
It's not good?
I mean, it's just a little. It's intense.
Wait until you get into the meat of the interview. If you start asking me about art, my opinions on people.
Oh, I'm going to. We're getting there. I just wanted a little bit of the background. So 12 years old, got a camera, just started walking up to strangers. I love that.
Somewhat. Okay, so I didn't just like start walking up to strangers. It was just I would have conversations with people.
Yeah.
There's this one memory that I have, very specific memory of my sister-in-law, my middle brother's wife. They've been married now for 19 years.
Okay.
But they were together since I think 2000 or 1999. And she took me with her to some of her classes one day at Buff State when I was around 9-10 years old. And I remember specifically, we were going to catch the bus right outside of Buff State, like in front of the AKG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're inside of that little bus shelter that's there. And I was sitting next to this woman who I think was also a student at Buff State. I mean, she had a backpack on and everything. And I just started asking her what she was listening to in her headphones.
Yeah.
And my sister-in-law was like, no, don't.
Yeah.
And I didn't pay attention. I just kept on talking to her. And this woman took her headphones and she goes, "Do you want to like listen to what I'm listening to?" And I was like, "Yeah, I would." So she put her headphones on my head and my sister-in-law didn't do anything about it. And I listened to, I think it was Lifehouse, Hanging by a Moment. That's what she was listening to.
I thought it was going to be something way cooler.
It was a good, I still like that song to this day because of that moment.
Because of that moment,
yeah. Like,
I have, yeah.
I remember that so specifically, and she was also eating Taco Bell. No, I'm sorry, that's not true.
Mighty Taco?
She was eating Mighty Taco. And yeah, I remember just, I remember really enjoying the song and really enjoying this moment with that person who I didn't know. And to be honest, I chase things like that now. I really love a moment where I'm getting to know someone that is a complete stranger to me.
Is that why you said yes to me?
Yeah, like truly. Anytime that someone asks me to do something that doesn't seem like it's going to be any sort of like threat or there's nothing like weird about it, then yeah, why wouldn't I?
I did do an interview last week with a basically complete stranger, and I was like, yeah, come over. It was fine. I didn't die.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a dog. He's, I feel like that might, and I have knives, stab in the kitchen.
I think that all of those things are probably very good for like warding off any individuals that mean to do you harm. So
I could probably, no, it was.
Was it about art as well?
Yeah, so he's also a photographer. He is, you should watch it. You know what? I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay, cool.
He just does band pictures and is like newer to the scene, kind of just figuring stuff out. Has some background in photography. Like he actually worked with like he was in the military and they were trying to train him to be like a military photographer.
Okay.
But I don't know. It was interesting. I did ask him if he shot manual or auto, and he said auto, and I was like, we can't go any further in this conversation. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that. But so that's what I'm gonna start talking about now.
Okay.
If you said you have some opinions.
Yeah, I got a lot of opinions. We're gonna see if I get in trouble at the end of this. So I mean, like we'll find out.
Okay. Well, first of all, I want to ask what do you shoot on right now?
Okay, so that depends.
Okay.
That always depends.
I don't know what hair. Hold that.
Yeah, sure.
We're just gonna pass it back and forth.
It always depends on. To be perfectly honest, it depends on how I feel.
Okay.
And how I think I'm going to be making pictures for the day.
Okay.
And at the same time, I don't like to overpack when it comes to me walking around or making pictures in my city. Like I'm not here to carry all of my gear with me, and maybe I should, but at the same time, I don't want to.
What if you get robbed?
You know?
Do you have insurance?
You know? So when it comes to like what I shoot, that depends on the day. Today, for the last couple of weeks now, I've been using my Leica. So I have a Leica M4 that.
Is this a film camera?
Yeah.
Sick.
So most of my work, a majority of my work is analog. Yeah.
Nice.
And this particular camera, it's a little beat up, but it's a Leica M4 with a 28mm f2.8. I've been shooting wide lately, and this isn't extremely wide, but it's wide, and I like seeing what I can do with a whole scene with this. Now, the reason why I've been using this Leica a little bit more is because it's lighter than what I usually use. It's so much quieter, and it's unobtrusive. So when I'm making pictures of a group of people, I'm not the type to snap a photo and keep on moving. I do like building a dialogue with the individuals that I want to make pictures of. I truly don't see a problem with sort of building rapport, as well as telling people exactly what I do for a living or how I want to display something, how I envision a picture that I'm about to make. Sometimes you just have to make the picture. That's absolutely okay, but I love talking to people.
Yeah.
And
this
is
like a story around it. Almost.
Yeah, there sometimes there does need to be a story, but at the same time, it's not like that's necessary for you to build a story. You don't need to have a conversation, but I like doing it out of respect for the individual that I'm shooting.
In front of?
Yeah, that's just my style. But using this camera specifically is good for me being able to make pictures very quickly, very quietly. So if I do want to make some very candid images that are like flybys, like I can do that. But I also like being able to tell people that they don't have really anything to fear with the camera that I'm using. It's not like I'm going to be sticking a big camera in their face. It's not going to happen. Right. But also, I've been making a point to use this more and more just because I have it for a reason. I like using it. I don't use it enough. So that's what I've been using for like the last month. Usually I'm using a Nikon F3. Like I have a pair of Nikon F3s that I use. Everything from a 24mm all the way up to a 135. That's what I shoot with. And I have some medium format cameras that I use very often, like a Zenza Bronica 6x6 in my bag right now.
That sounds fancy.
Yeah, it's not fancy, but it's a big camera, and it allows me a good square negative. Okay. And a Mamiya RB67. That's another one that I use.
I don't even know what that is.
They're just, they're just cameras, like truly. And honestly, the gear isn't what matters. It's like I shoot on film. I can, not to sound arrogant, but if you give me a camera, like I'll make something from it that maybe I can be proud of. I mean, the relationship that you have with analog a lot of the time is that you have to be comfortable with the idea of failure. Yeah. You have to be comfortable with the idea of mystery as well too. There's a little bit of a miracle that happens in that, and I really enjoy analog for that reason.
So, do you develop your own film?
Okay, so I shoot a lot of C41 color film. So Kodak Portra is what I usually shoot. And I can develop color, but I don't do that here. Oh, sorry.
No, you're
I keep
fine.
on hitting the...
It's cheap. I think this was $4.
If you want to, we can put a weight on it. Like, you want to do that?
No, I think we're good.
So I can develop color. Okay. The only thing is that I don't develop color because I don't have the money for all the chemicals. And I think that I could do this at SEPA. Yeah, I can do it at SEPA. I do some like workshops for SEPA every once in a while. Okay. But I get it done at Delaware Camera. I used to work there for years, so it's like this wonderful relationship that I've had for the last 15 years with these people. I just get it there.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense too. Plus, like you're saying, all of these supplies. Why not just go somewhere that already has the supplies?
Yeah, and I mean, without giving away too much, they hook me up every time that I'm there. So why not?
Same.
Yeah. So like I mean, Mark is one of my best friends. So why? Yeah.
Hi, Mark. Yeah. I don't know if you'll ever watch this, but hey.
He was actually very excited. He was like, "Oh yeah, I hope that it's fun." It's like,
shit, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But why wouldn't I use that relationship if the way that they're comfortable with me coming in is by like getting my film developed and then showing off that I got this developed at Delaware.
Yeah.
I don't develop my own color, but I do develop my own black and white, and that's every time I shoot black and white. But I don't do that very often.
Do you want to talk about that process?
About the development?
For people who have no idea what it goes into developing film.
Well,
I'm sure it's a lot. I mean, you don't have to like...
Well, the only thing that goes into it is making sure that your chemistry is like mixed correctly. Making sure that you're getting the time right for how you want your film developed. Like, I don't want to overdevelop my film, so it becomes more and more contrasty. I want it to be right on time. I want to make sure that my temperature is correct every which way. But it's honestly a very simple step-by-step process. Anytime that anybody wants to overcomplicate it and say, oh, I can't do that, it's like, well, you just haven't tried. Like, it's just about following the steps that you have. You know, depending on if I'm shooting HP5 or developing, you know, HP5 or 400 T-Max or 400 Tri-X, it's like you just follow the timetable. That's it.
I think you're speaking Greek now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
The last time I developed film was in 6th grade. So
okay. If you ever want to do development, go to SEPA, talk to Nate, take a development class.
There's classes? Yes. Oh, I love taking classes. That's my favorite thing.
SEPA is right on Main Street in the arcade building, downtown Buffalo. Okay. They have classes for black and white development. You go there, sit with Nate, and he will go through the step-by-step process. But even more so, and I'm not bullshitting you by saying this, I swear to you, it is so easy once you understand exactly what you're doing as per step 1, step 7. Like, it's easy.
I mean...
And you're supposed to fuck up. Like you are. You're supposed to.
Yeah, that's a part of learning. If you don't fuck up, well, okay, so I am of the, if I can't figure it out right immediately, like I just get really sad, but, I mean, you have to fuck up because that's how you grow and learn. Okay, so let's see. We talked about film. And
development, stop, fixer, that's it. Like, I mean, it's just following the times and the temperatures. That's it.
So you want to get into some opinions?
Okay, you ask me whatever you'd like. Now here's the thing, I ask people questions for a living, and I usually bother people for a living, like when it comes to questions. So you have to be specific. What do you want to know, and how do you want to ask it?
So first I'm going to say, or ask, we're going to talk about Buffalo for a minute because this is a Buffalo podcast. So what is your favorite thing about Buffalo? And then we'll get into like some more. Okay.
I think my favorite thing about Buffalo is the amount of community that you can find in each neighborhood. Maybe that has like dwindled in the last couple of years, but when I was a kid, especially on the west side of Buffalo, I knew all of my neighbors. It doesn't mean that I was like best friends with my neighbors, but I knew all of them. We had a tight-knit community in that if anything went wrong, you know who you can talk to, or you know who was responsible for it. Like that's usually how that goes. So in my opinion, I really enjoy the tight-knit communities that Buffalo does have, and even more so how much certain people in Buffalo are really trying to ensure that kids and adults here have a community to go to if they are looking for any help in need, especially with mutual aid. Like, I really enjoy the fact that there are a lot of people in Buffalo that provide that. That's the one thing that I enjoy about Buffalo, and I grew up here.
That's the best answer I've gotten so far.
Cool. Yeah.
Someone else said, like, the food.
I'm going to be honest with you. Again, I grew up in Buffalo, and I'm Puerto Rican. Like, I think about how the food is okay in Buffalo, but you have cities like New York and Chicago. Yeah. I don't want to hear about how the food is really great here. It's good. It is. It's good. I think more than the food in Buffalo, I think it goes back to just the idea of community altogether. The people that you find in the hole-in-the-wall spots that you go to, that's the fun part. The reason why I picked this bar after we couldn't go out to the break wall, or even like when I was like, when it came to the library, the reason why I picked this bar is because it's a dive bar that I absolutely love. Like, I really like Essex Street Pub. Yeah. And the people that you find here are always interesting. Like, there's something intriguing going on all the time. I mean, there was a couple that was dancing earlier when I got here.
And you took pictures.
Well, I tried to. Yeah, I tried to. So, like, that didn't end up working just because he was like, hey, man, I need your payment. And I was like, cool. But I'll get something before I leave. The thing is that you can always find really interesting people wherever you go, and I think, in my opinion, like, food can be really good, of course. Like, food and drink can be really, really good in good places that you go to. Yep. But I think that the relationship that you have with whatever strangers or whatever people you encounter is what makes food even better. Like, it makes that experience even better. And that's why I like making the pictures that I do.
Yeah. Oh, man. You're really good at this. Not usually. I don't want to. Now I'm thinking I need better questions. Okay, let's see.
No, it's okay. You're doing good. Truly.
You're stumping me. You have amazing answers.
Take your time, and plus you can chop it up the way you need to.
I'm not chopping this up. We're it's going. Man, maybe I do need the light on here.
Are you gonna chop it up after you did that?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's gonna be in there. Okay.
Everyone watches everything. Oh, geez. Maybe. Can we?
That might. I don't know. The warm one is probably gonna be the best to match that lighting. Yeah.
Do you think we? Yeah, we'll leave it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think you need it.
I'm gonna shut it off. We're leaving that in.
Okay.
Hi. All right. So, do you think that Buffalo and probably every city is oversaturated with photographers?
I don't know if every city is oversaturated with photographers. I don't even know if Buffalo is oversaturated with photographers. But I do have opinions about. I don't know. I mean, it depends on the person. It depends on the person that's consuming the art. But
I think I have pretzels stuck in my teeth. Keep going.
Okay. I think about how there are people that are trying to make good work, and then there are people that are trying to make content. And this is honestly a problem that I have. And I mean, I can get into arguments all day about what matters and what doesn't, or what is art and what isn't. I just think that there is oversaturation of people who are looking to make content because everybody wants to make content. And I say this, I mean, like, ironically, we're on
correct. No, I agree with you, and ironically, I'm making content.
Yeah. But I have this issue with people who make content while calling it artwork, and the culture that is bred in that, of people looking at that content and going, man, that's fantastic work. And it's like, well, have you really looked at the work?
Yeah.
Like, because I look at it and I think that this is kind of sloppy, and I do think this is kind of lazy. And maybe I'm a little bit too hard on those people. Maybe I'm a little too judgmental, but I'm also judgmental when it comes to my own work, and that's like what I use to try to be better. I'm not necessarily worried about like the fame,
right.
You know, or I'm not chasing the notoriety when it comes to this. I want to make really good work, and I want to be able to affect people with the work that I have. And I also make peace with the idea that I might die poor. Like I make peace with that. And maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Maybe I should be a bit more aggressive about what I do and how I do it. But I don't know if this area is saturated with photographers. I know that we have a lot of people that call themselves that, and that's fine. But I hope that they're doing the work. And some people, I'm going to be honest, I don't think that they are.
When you say doing the work, what do you mean by that?
What we talked about a little bit earlier, the idea that,
the off-camera convo?
No, more so when I see someone after a period of time, and like maybe they took a class or they were in a workshop, it's like, hey, if you really like this thing, I hope that you're getting better. I hope that you're keeping up with it. I hope that you're at least trying to do something with it every day or every other day, or you have a scheduled time. You know, it's not like you should feel ashamed if you don't get to do what you need to do for this work that you're trying to create. I don't know if shame should necessarily be felt in that.
Yeah.
But it's more so, are you trying to make time for this thing that you say that you care about? You know, I want to read every day. I want to finish a book that I have. So what do?
You make time.
I try to make the time. Yeah.
Oh no, that got real loud.
I think it'll be okay, right?
I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. If we need to, we can move outside if you'd like.
I mean, it's a good song, but
okay. I'm not familiar with the song.
Oh, it's Primus.
Oh, okay. Wait, is this My Name Is Mud?
No.
Is this Pork Soda?
I actually
that I know.
Don't know the title of it. Oh, they're turning it down, I think. Okay. Anyway, so in the realm of like content creators, and I roll my eyes because I don't want to be a content creator, but here I am creating content. But I want to get the people who are doing the real work in the city of Buffalo out to the masses. And maybe even beyond the city of Buffalo once I figure out really what I want to do. But so in this like social media era of like likes and follows and engagement, what are your thoughts?
I think that social media could be used for good, but most people use it for like when it comes to artwork, I think that social media could be used for good. But I see it being used irresponsibly a lot of the time when it comes to artwork.
What do you mean irresponsibly?
I think about how much people push, again, content. It sets, and I guess this also has to do with an individual being able to like firmly set themselves in their own philosophy and in their own what's the word that I'm looking for? Not self-assurance, but in being able to be self-confident. I mean, not self-confident, just confident in the fact that they don't have to create all the time, like create constantly in order for people to be able to notice them. But I do see a lot of people like constantly pushing work. Every single day there is work that is to be pushed. Every single day there's always something to be established and put up. And it makes other individuals that are taking their time with their work look at it and go, oh my God, do I need to be like this? Do I need to create this often? It's like, no, you don't need to. But unfortunately, there's going to be a consequence of you not creating that often or not putting things up that often. It means that maybe because of an algorithm, someone's not going to see you as much. So it, just like what magazines used to do to kids, in the 1990s, you know, you have this expectation of what your body is supposed to look like because you see people on the cover of a magazine. Social media is kind of doing the same thing for people who want to create something meaningful and with purpose. And it makes you feel like, okay, well, I have to keep on creating every single day. I have to do this. It's like, no, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, so like a quality over quantity, but social media really forces you to do quantity over quality.
yeah, it does. I mean, if you aren't pushing every single day, then you get lost in the algorithm. People don't see you as much. They aren't interacting with your profile as much, and I don't agree with that. It kind of sucks for the artist. And when I say I don't agree with that, I wonder if there's maybe there's apps that I haven't heard of that don't do that the way that Instagram does, you know? But
I don't know them.
I don't know them. Yeah, that's the thing. I have to research those a little bit better. You know?
Do you have, taking it off of social media, do you do like art gallery exhibits and stuff like that? I
mean, I have. You know, honestly, I haven't done a big solo show before, and I would really like to, but I'm also not comfortable with doing a solo show just yet because of the work that I have.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I do think that this is just my personal feeling on my work. I would rather put that in a collection, like in a tangible collection. So meaning I would like to put that in a book.
Yeah.
And I would like to show my work as a book. And then from the book, maybe we can do like a gallery. I would like to do that.
Do you have a goal of when you want to have a book? Like, is that something you're actively thinking about, or
yes. It is something that I actively think about with two specific projects that I've been working on for the last year and a half, 2 years.
Want to talk about it?
But I will. You know, I will. But
when?
But more than that, like I have to say, there is something that I just came up with maybe a month ago, and it would include all the pictures that I've made over the last, let's say, 10, 15 years, that are little moments of like surreality or like the ethereal. Anything absurd, and I do think about how I can put all of this together in a collection, and the reason being is because I've been reading a lot of Italo Calvino books, so I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Mm-hmm. He's a surrealist and absurdist writer that kind of dives into humor and the real world, but in such a beautiful and light way. I mean, there's this book that I really love called Marco Baldo, and it's about this day laborer who just has adventures in each chapter, and each chapter is one season. So like fall, you get it, fall, winter, spring, summer. And it's Marco Baldo getting into like schemes and just little adventures while either working with his, I think, 5 or 6 kids and his wife who disapproves of everything that he does, you know. And in all of that though, you see all these like little beautiful moments that Marco Baldo gets to experience.
Yeah. And
how he tries to work in a way that he can benefit from that or even try to experience it to its fullest. And I really loved that. So I decided, what if I made a book that just had to do with all these really beautiful things that I encounter on a daily basis in little and big ways, but the absurdity of some of those things as well as the magic of some of those things. Like I'm always looking for something to photograph that's odd or coincidental or happenstantial, something that seems like it's magic that's happening directly in front of me. And those are the times where I don't get a chance to like communicate with someone before I take a picture. Yeah. But sometimes I just the other day when I was walking around Forest Lawn, I saw this redheaded father. He plopped himself down in between two trees, and he had his son, who was maybe about 2 years old. He decided to plop himself down. His son also had red hair, and they just sat there in the morning, in the sunlight.
Just being beautiful.
Just enjoying the fact that this kid is looking at all of the blossom trees.
Yeah.
And they're also looking at the little stream that's running through Forest Lawn.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
they're just both in it together. And the little boy was looking up, his father was looking at him, and I thought, oh man, that would really make a beautiful picture. I'd like to make that picture. Those are the little things that I talk about, the little things that we notice that are happening on the periphery.
Yeah.
And that's something that I would love to make a little book that people can just pour over, just like sift through. But the other projects that I was mentioning earlier, one has to do with the relationship between members of the Puerto Rican community.
Okay.
And how, from what I and other people that I'm very close to have experienced, the level of othering and isolation that comes within my people, and that you aren't Puerto Rican enough if you're not this, or that. And only these things make you Puerto Rican. And it seems like everybody that I've spoken to is Puerto Rican. Doesn't matter what family they come from, or even what level of Spanish they speak. They've all experienced, you're not Puerto Rican enough for X, Y, or Z. And I've always wanted to create a book specifically about that, but in photographs that link individuals who may feel different, isolated, or othered, but really they're very much they're like very similar. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like they're not all the same, but they're very similar. And bringing that, like unifying those individuals within a book, would be something very beautiful that they can keep for themselves, that like lets them know that no, I'm part of this collective. I can't give away too much on that because there is a very specific way that I want to do it that I know would be perfect for it. But that's the most that I'll give you for right now.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. You don't have to give me all your secrets. Wow, you're a very interesting human being, and you're like very smart.
Yeah.
I
am. In my moments, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm not as prepared as I think I should be. I should have like stalked your website.
That's okay. Think of it this way: it's just a conversation between two people, and now you're learning something about me. And in this, you get something out of it. So yeah, and I'm also learning something about you. So this is cool.
Yeah, no, it's super cool. Dang, I'm stumped.
It's okay. Please take your time.
Let's see. So books, a photo book. 2 of them, actually. That's pretty cool. So after, that's a lot of goals right there. Do you have bigger goals that you want to achieve in the grand scheme of photography?
I really want to create a photo essay for a major publication that is all documentary surrealistic photographs. Like, I would love it if National Geographic, like sometime in the future, because it probably won't happen anytime soon, but sometime in the future, like let's say 20 or 30 years from now, if they were to commission me or contract me to make photographs of a specific group of people, but I have total control over how that's made, and I would like to approach it from like a surrealistic point of view. If you know what, this is for anybody else who watches this or anybody who listens. If you ever get a chance, look at the work of Graciela Iturbide. She's a Mexican photographer. I think that she's in her late 80s now, but her work of Mexican workers, like especially laborers and civilians, like moving about specific townships, is beautiful. Like, it's beautiful. It's all in black and white as well. One of the photographs that sticks out for me, other than the self-portraits that she makes a lot of the time, there's this one photograph that she has of this woman, and it's from a, like, almost a bug's eye. So it's a low angle. Like, Graciela is shooting upward on this woman, and this woman is looking outward, has a darker face, and has a crown of iguanas. Like, has a complete iguana crown. And it's such a beautiful picture. But I love things like that. A lot of people are really into Gregory Halpern. Gregory Halpern's originally from Buffalo. He's in his 40s now and teaches at RIT. Incredible photographer, but he makes a lot of surrealistic work too. And incredibly beautiful, especially since he shoots in color. The way that he puts his images together for photo books, the way that he sequences them, works out well for the narrative that he's trying to create. So if you ever get a chance to check out his work too, but Graciela Iturbide is who I would like.
I'll put it in the description, like, please check this beautiful artistic woman out.
And also Josef Koudelka.
Okay.
His work titled, and I know that this is not the term that we use anymore, but it's the work titled Gypsies.
Okay.
That is incredible. And if you want something that is odd and engaging and incredibly beautiful, then look at Gypsies. That is beautiful work.
How do you find these photographers and artists?
It's the same way that I find like new books.
Okay.
Like I don't want to paint myself to be this person who has always been a huge reader. I wasn't. It's just that I got interested in making sure that I was keeping up with my reading and making sure that I was like reading something.
Yeah.
And eventually I just started diving into odd books that just, like, the synopsis would take me. It's like, okay, no, yeah, that seems cool. I want to read that.
Yeah.
And some of them are bad, some of them are good, but now I can tell the difference between good and bad whenever I read something about this author or that synopsis.
Yeah.
And it goes the same way for photo books. Just because I'm very much invested in learning more and more and more about photography. Since I was 12, I've always been invested in that. I started looking at different photographers that I was really drawn to the work of, like, okay, David Allen Harvey, or even William Albert Allard. Steve McCurry is a big one for a lot of people who want to start off in portraiture, and that's who I started off with when I was like 19, 20 years old. But I started looking at like David Allen Harvey, William Albert Allard, Mary Ellen Mark, a lot of three names, Mary Ellen Mark, who else? Bruce Davidson, Gordon Parks. I would just pore over any of these like photographers that people would know.
Yeah.
And that started leading me into other photo books of like more obscure work and people who weren't as well known but still incredible artists.
Yeah.
Bieke de Porter, incredible photographer. She's out of I want to say Denmark, but I'm wrong. It's not Denmark.
We can fact check this.
I'll correct that later. But Bieke de Porter's work is insane. If you ever get a chance, look at that. I just started like traveling down the rabbit hole over 15 years of what photo books I should look at next. And yeah, there are some that really strike me. And even the ones that I don't really care for, they're still fun because this person is making the artwork that they want to make, and they obviously show a good amount of skill as well as amount of passion within what they do. So it's all exploration. That's all.
I have a lot of homework to do now.
I like giving people homework like this. I would hope that someone goes in and like starts researching all of this. But yeah, okay, you go down one avenue, you decide I want to read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and then you figure out that there are other books out there that are fantasy books that maybe might be good for you. And that's what photo books are. That's what photographers are. Like, you don't know about this person until someone leads you there. You travel down enough and you're like, I want to look at more environmental photography work that's surreal. Well, okay, I find out that there is a photographer named Sebastiao Salgado, and he recently just died. I think
Rest in peace.
Year. Yeah, he died in his 80s, lived a long, full life. But I've been looking at his work since I was maybe 22, 23, so that's about 13 years now. Beautiful work. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's insanely beautiful work. All black and white. Horrifying work in a way, because a lot of it is disturbing. It's sad. It has to do with people who are working in environments and climates that are not kind to them. So yeah, if you get a chance, like, just go down a rabbit hole, see where it.
I'm going to.
Find the weird stuff, like, truly.
You graduated from Buff State, right?
Yes, I did graduate. I walked across the stage. Yes, I want to make that very clear.
I graduated, but I didn't walk across the stage.
So here's the thing: I walked across the stage and I graduated, but technically I do not have my degree.
Oh shit, for real? Why?
Technically, so I took a class my last semester at Buff State. I got, I think, a B in that class. But registrars had alerted me. Well, my professor, she was like, hey, for whatever reason, you don't seem to be registered in the class. I was like, really? And she goes, yeah, you have a grade in everything. She's like, you should talk to registrars.
Yeah.
And I did, or the registration department. And when I did, they were like, yeah, it turns out you're not in that class. And I was like, well, I have a grade. They're like, yeah, well, you have to pay us for it if you want your degree. And I didn't have the money at the time. So I was like, can I walk across the stage? Like, can I just do that at least for right now? They're like, yeah, we can let you do that. And I was like, okay.
And what is your degree in?
It would be in art.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just art?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? This is funny. I'm mentioning this now, but I should really just get my degree. Like now that I have a little money, I'm just gonna do it. But yeah, I even spoke to that professor maybe 2 years ago about this, and she was like, yeah, I still remember you, and yes, I'll write a letter whenever you need it. So cool. But yeah, I didn't have the money at the time, so I just didn't do that.
That's crazy. Yeah. They were like, here's your grade, but also give us $800. I don't know how much
one
class.
Something like that. Yeah. And I was like, I can't. Yeah. I was moving to Chicago that year. This is in 2014. I was 23 years old at the time, going on 24.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 35.
Oh, you're younger than me?
Am I?
Old.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay. Well, I don't have to ask. It's fine.
No, I'm 37. It's fine.
10. It's fine. But yeah, I was moving to Chicago within a couple of months, and I was like, I'm not spending this spending this money on this degree now.
How long were you in Chicago?
Not very long. I was only there for, I think, 6 months.
Oh,
yeah.
I have a similar story about Atlanta. I was only there for 6 months.
Only there for about 6 months. It was not a great time. I love Chicago, but at the time, I was in a relationship that was not good to me. And at the same time, there was a lot that got hiccuped on my way to going there for the job that I thought that I had when I was going there. Yeah, there were things that popped up all of a sudden when I got there, and they're like, well, we want you to work this, and this time. And it's like, but I thought I would get that off. And they're well, we could figure that out later. It's like, I can't figure that out later. And even further, I thought that I was getting benefits because they told me that I would, and then it turns out no. So I was like, I'm not taking this job. And I decided to look for another job while doing odd jobs.
Yeah.
And I was getting paid for doing odd jobs, but I ended up finding a job in Chicago that was completely different than what I was supposed to be doing while there. I was a key holder at this place called Kreiser's. And that's like the Lexington Co-op of dog and cat food. And I had a great time. It was really fun. I got to meet some really cool people, but that was not what I went there to do, So
that's crazy.
I didn't stay there for very long because there's another job that came up here. So
yeah, I did not go to Atlanta for a job, but I went there I moved with my ex-boyfriend, who, when we started our journey of moving, was my boyfriend, and then he broke up with me after I sold my house. That's a whole fucking thing. Yeah. So anyway, I'm like, well, we're gonna try. So we went to Atlanta as roommates, and I'm here.
It happens, It happens. And are you better for it?
I don't know.
How long ago was it?
2022. So 4 years ago now?
Okay.
Actually, April of 22 is when I moved, and we are in April. Yeah, so 4 years, and then I was there for 6 months. I don't know if I'm better for it.
Are you doing well now, though?
I mean, I'm always doing well.
Then there you go. Yeah,
I don't let myself not do well.
I feel odd about that whole people in your life are seasons. I don't necessarily like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have to fully recognize and accept that people are going to come and go. So
I do have as I've been told, the patience of a saint to let people be more than seasons. But I'm also starting to learn that I do have to draw the line. I do have to have a boundary. So that's my year of 26 as I'm working on that.
Understood. Okay. Not trying to create this segue or pivot, but this leads into a really good conversation about photo altogether. I had interviewed William Albert Allard in his home in Virginia, and this is in 2021.
Okay.
And we were talking about B-sides, B-side images, the images that you make that maybe you're not going to do anything with, but you have them. They might be for something in the future. And I asked him whatever happened to all of his B-side images, because he was a National Geographic photographer for 40 years. And I remember he was eating a piece of cheese. He said it. He's in his 80s, and he goes, "What do you mean B-sides?" I was like, well, the images that aren't really used, but they're yours. They're the ones that, you have all the negatives or the positives of, and you may use them for something in the future. Like something there might work. And he goes, I don't have any of those. And I thought that he was like being funny, like, oh, all of his images are hits. But I was like, you don't have any of the positives from what you used to shoot? And he goes, no. He's like, when I left the magazine, I put them all inside of a waste paper bin, and I poured bleach over them.
You just destroyed them?
Yeah, and I was like, what? Like I couldn't comprehend that. I was like, what? And I'm not like a terribly organized person.
Yeah.
So even when it comes to my negatives, sometimes I don't like put them in the right place.
Right.
But and I should be much better with that. I know that. But yeah, he was just like, yeah. I poured bleach over them. And I think, I don't want to exaggerate, but I'm pretty sure if I re-listen to the audio that I have of this, like I recorded the whole interview, but I think that he said that he also lit some of them on fire. And I remember thinking, what? Like, holy shit. And he goes, I swear to God, I think he took a bite and he just shrugged and he goes, sometimes you just have to let go of things.
Oh, damn.
Okay. And that taught me a huge lesson. And it wasn't a lesson that really hit until...
Right.
3 or 4 years later. So we're talking about like last year that it really hit where I'm like, yeah, I guess sometimes
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, also, I'm not organized either, and I don't even know where my external hard drive is right now.
Okay, you gotta find that. Yeah, you gotta find that.
I know.
You have to find that.
You have to find it.
But, yeah.
Wow. I don't even know what to do with it.
It was a good lesson, like that's all. And I wish that it's like one of those things where your parents tell you something over and over and over again, and you don't do it until you're 40, and then you're like, wait, that's
definitely a human nature thing. I was having this conversation actually with my buddy who used to live in Chicago, but now he's in Brooklyn. We were talking about, like, you almost have to make it your idea. Someone can tell you something constantly, and until it's your idea, you're never going to do it. And that's just human nature. I was like, it's just men. And he was like, no, it's women too. And I was like, yeah, you're right. It's humans.
But we do really well at being shitty about those things. So, I think it's a huge part of ego.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought that was a great bit of advice to get from somebody about everything, but linking it to photo or even linking it to your own personal work as an artist. Like, yeah, sometimes you just have to let stuff go. Okay.
What do you think you would be doing if you weren't an artist?
I'd probably be making a lot more money. But might be. But I don't know. I think. And I'll say boo to this, of course. Now I will. I don't know how you feel about it. And if you want to argue about it, I get it. But I wanted to be a cop when I was younger.
Boo.
I wanted to be a cop when I was younger. And it was because I wanted to make sure that my community was safe. And I wanted to be involved in that when I thought that was the best way to do it.
Right.
And now, after doing community outreach for years, it's like I know that there's other ways to help. There are better ways to help in a lot of ways. Like there are.
Yeah, for sure.
But what would I be doing if I wasn't doing this? I think maybe I'd be a lawyer.
I also want to be a lawyer.
Okay, very cool. See, Libra. The scales.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that maybe I'd be a lawyer, but also a new friend of mine, and I'm really excited to actually be friends with this person. They were like, I look at you and I see you could probably be like a bookshop owner, and again, it's not like I read all that much, but I do like books. It's not like I've been reading forever. It's just that, I'm really into it now. It sounds so bad, but either that or a record store owner. And I don't even collect records. I just really like music, and I thought it'd be really cool to sell somebody like a format that's analog that also they could really enjoy at home. I like the idea of selling somebody on something that they could really enjoy, that they could be passionate about. That or a journalist. I would write stories.
So I feel like you like physical media.
Yeah,
me too.
Very much so.
I need it to be in my hand.
Yes.
I don't have records either. I do a lot of CDs.
That's cool. Okay, I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah.
Even when it came to like the iPod.
Oh, yeah.
When I was working at Chrysler's, there was this guy named Miko. Miko was awesome. But Miko, one time, I think he was just giving me shit. He was a little bit older than me. I think that maybe Miko's 40 years old now. But he goes, at that time, he would have been 27, 28. He goes, hey man, why do you have an iPod and an iPhone? And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, don't you just keep all your music on your iPhone?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't like the idea of that. And he goes, what's the problem with that? I was like, well, if I lose my phone, then how am I going to listen to my music?
Right.
And he goes, you're playing a dangerous game. And then he lost his phone. And I was like, can you listen to your music today? And he goes, nah, man, but that's not the point. And, like, he got angry about it, but it was in a funny way. So I think about how, I'd rather have the thing that I need.
Yeah,
like, I'm okay with having all these things be separate.
Yeah.
As long as I have a physical, a physical representation. And an iPod isn't that, but...
Right. It's close enough for right now.
I want it to be separate, you know? If I could carry around, an actual, a phone that's wired, that would be great. So I wouldn't be tethered to the internet all the time. That'd be cool.
You can probably buy a dumb phone.
My friend Justin just told me about those, and I love that idea.
Yeah.
But also, I have to admit, I'm addicted to seeing what my friends are doing.
Who's not?
You know,
I'm addicted to seeing what my friends are doing, and then people I don't even fucking know on the internet. I'm like, oh, this person I don't know follow.
And imagine, imagine I hope that I'm not crossing a line with this joke, but I think about imagine what a belt buckle on head Puritan would think if they could access photos of a woman's ankle on this thing that you could keep in your pocket. They'd probably be like, holy shit, are you serious? God never has to know.
Okay, that's really funny.
I'm gonna marry never has to know. And it's that's why people keep these things. Everybody's got nude.
I saw her calf.
Yeah, I saw her calf today.
Saw her big toe.
God, a little bit, just a little bit of her rib showed, just because she was reaching over to grab
I almost saw her collarbone. Oh my God.
Yeah, truly. And that's why people have...
That's really funny.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, so you've touched on music, so I'm going to ask you, what is your favorite kind of music?
That's difficult. And I understand that that's probably a common answer that a lot of people give. It's like, oh yeah, I love everything.
No, people they know their answers.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd say the music that I listen to most often would be alternative music, alternative indie a lot of the time. Right now, I've been listening to a lot of Florence and the Machine.
Okay.
There's this band that I just got hip to last year, middle of last year, called Nation of Language.
Never heard of them.
Okay, if you get a chance, just give it a try.
Yeah.
And there's pretty much just 2 songs that I listen to from them.
Yeah.
But there's one song that is now a favorite song. If I listen to this song, I will listen to the whole track.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter when. And it's called Weak in Your Light.
Okay.
It's very synthy, very sultry. A beautiful message of how much this person needs this individual that they're thinking of. But again, it's sultry and 80s synth almost. It is perfect.
Oh, I love 80s synth.
Perfect. And it's not even from the 80s. It's great. But I like that song. I just got I just got on the wagon for Pierce the Veil, and they've been around since I was
No.
I hear you, but I have a special place in my heart for them just because I didn't listen to them at all. Before last year, I didn't listen to them at all. But they're Mexicano, and they have this band, and their last album, from what I understand from their discography, their last album is called Jaws of Life. Every single song I did not skip when I first heard that in late last year. I was like, okay, I'm about this. Every single song I didn't skip.
Maybe I'll give it a spin. I think, okay.
Emergency Contact. So Far So Fake. Past the Nirvana. There's, what is it? Damn the Man Save the Empire. Do
you know what that's from?
The Empire? That's from, it's the Record Store movie. Empire Records.
Yes.
Terrible film.
You win.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that movie.
It's not.
But it is bad.
It's not a good movie. It has a lot of it has nostalgic quality to it, and all the actors that are in it are incredible. The fact that it has Liv Tyler, and I always forget this guy's name. The one with the red hair, the really young kid. I forget his name. It's not Giovanni Ribisi. It's the other one. It doesn't matter. He was in That Thing You Do as well. But it's got.
I can't look it up. My phone's right here.
We can't look it up. But it's fun for that. But that movie's not good outside of that. Yeah.
What's your favorite movie?
That's a loaded question because I love films. Like my brother raised me on films. My brother had a huge hand in raising me. That's the middle one.
What's your favorite genre of film?
That is.
Also, we might have to have a part 2 to this because it's getting loud in here.
I love having conversation like this all the time anyway. And also, you're asking me about me, which is cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm a Libra. I understand.
Too. Okay, so my favorite movies right now, from what I can think of, Before Sunset by Richard Linklater. Casablanca has to be on there. Perfect Days, and I did not expect that to be one of my favorite films. In fact, I wasn't even supposed to watch that. It was a movie that I tossed on in October, and it's a Wim Wenders film. I just tossed it on for background noise, and I stopped to watch it because it is like, I hate the idea of trying to make the mundane cool like all the time.
Okay.
But the movie is just about this Japanese maintenance worker's days. Like, and how he has a routine, and sometimes his routine gets interrupted, but how he appreciates the beauty of life every day, but not even in this, like, he's awestruck every day. It's more so the little moments that he decides to sit and observe.
I've never even heard of it.
It is perfect.
Do you know how much homework I have now?
A lot, yeah. That movie.
Oh, we're almost at an hour.
Hey, shit. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, that movie is fantastic. But if you get a chance, Before Sunset, that is like that. Oh, and Stranger Than Fiction. So I
know the album Stranger Than Fiction by Bad Religion, but I don't know the movie.
Okay, so Stranger Than Fiction is by it's with Will Ferrell and Maggie Gyllenhaal. And it's a dramatic role for Will Ferrell, but it is incredible. Amazing. He is an IRS agent, an IRS like tax auditor, auditing agent. Yeah. And one morning he wakes up in his like very boring, very routine life, and he starts hearing an inner monologue from a woman. Oh. And she's like narrating everything that's going on within his day in the first like 5 minutes. But she says something very specific within those first 5 minutes as he's brushing his teeth. Harold had no idea that he was going to die.
Oh.
He's like, wait.
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers after that. But like, that's what the movie is about. Like, if you read the synopsis, it's that. And from there, it's like, what is Harold supposed to do?
Oh shit, I gotta watch that. Maybe I'll watch that tonight.
Awesome. Like, truly. It's maybe an hour, 45 minutes. It's worth it. It's worth it.
Sick. Yeah. Okay, I am gonna wrap this up. I have I feel like we're gonna have to have a part 2. Okay. Because now I think I know what I want to ask you. You know what I mean? I kind of came into this like, oh, photography. But now I think we're gonna get into some nitty gritty stuff next time.
All of those things, no joke, all of those things that I mentioned today, the movies, books, anything, that all influences how I make my photographs.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Yeah, I might have like a list of questions next time and go to.
Okay. Yeah, please. No, that's fine. Go for it. Like, I'll have some questions for you too.
Yeah, there's so much more that we can talk about, but.
Well, this is lovely. Thank you very much for inviting me.
The music's getting louder, and I don't even know if this is going to turn out good. We'll find out.
I think it'll turn out okay. Like,
any last questions, comments, concerns?
No, nothing else other than I had a great time, so thank you for inviting me. This is great, and I look forward to us talking again. Yeah.
And next time my other mic will work, so I don't have to do this awkward. Oh, I can't believe that was a thing. All right, bye guys. Thank you. All right, thank you.
Yeah, of course.